What is up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will be doing the weekly chart breakdown on the pairs GBPJPY, GBPUSD, and on gold. I will also do the weekly recap from last week, compare my predictions to what actually happened. So stay tuned for that and see you after the intro. Peace. Okay guys, so we're actually on the charts. We will start with a pair GBPJPY. So as you can see, last week we stopped at this zone right here, and my predictions were that we will either stay below this zone, wait for a retest, and then look to sell down. This would have been option 1, or option number 2 would have been for a 4-hour candle close above, a retest, and then a short-term buy here. And from this zone here, this would have been a high probability sell area, which I would have looked to sell back down. So let's see what happened. We'll go down to the 4-hour time frame. I'm on bar replay right now, so I'll just skip that. Boom. There we had our 4-hour candle close above. Now what you could have done is just wait for the retest into this zone right here, which would have held as support, and look to buy short term here. So I did actually take this trade, but with low risk because it's a counter trend trade. So here we go down, boom, came down to retest this zone. That would have been your entry signal, and then you could have bought it up into this zone right here. But the trade that I was actually looking for was like a retest of this area here. So I was just waiting for price to come down, come up, retest this resistance zone, and then look to sell it back down. And that is actually exactly what happened. So price just melted down, boom, there you go. So after this move, what I was waiting for was for another retest of this previous support zone to hold as resistance, and then to look to sell. And let's see what happened. Here we did have the retest and another sell signal. So that's pretty much like the weekly recap from GBPJPY. So basically everything I said with my prediction was right. And now the current state right now is that the weekly close in a huge bearish momentum candle. It broke below this support, just smashed it. It broke below this support right here. So what I'm waiting for right now is another retest of this area right here, because here we had previous resistance, support. So we could expect for price to stop here and then continue even lower into the next support, like the next daily support area here. Or do this being like a big move down, we could expect maybe a little of a steeper retest or retracement, which would be in this zone right here to this previous support area. So like I said, entry number 1 would be here. If price rejects and respects as a resistance, I will look to sell down from here. If it does close above here on a 4-hour candle, I'll wait for the smaller retest, wait until price comes into this zone, and then look to sell from here. But my overall BS is still very, very bearish, especially because of the politics in the news right now. So now we come to the GBPUSD pair. So my prediction on GBPUSD last week was that I was waiting for price to come back into the daily support and resistance zone to retest this area right here. And we did actually have a retest of that zone. So I was waiting for price to reject this area here to look to sell back down. And we rejected it once, came back up, rejected it twice. This would have been a nice entry signal. And then we sold all the way down into the next support area that I was looking towards, which is a key level like 1300. So yeah, my BS on that also played out very well. Like I said on the previous video, is very, very bearish overall. And yeah, and the weekly time frame, we closed also in a huge bearish momentum candle, which is a sign that we will most likely continue bearish next week. But I'm also expecting a bigger retracement upwards before it will continue breaking bearish. And Yeah, it's like very crazy because politics news made the British pound just melt, and this is actually the lowest point it has ever gotten in the last 37 years. So as you can see, like the problem is very serious right now, and that's why the market is very unpredictable right now. Also, in this case, since price is like the lowest it has ever gotten, we don't have another point of structure where we could see price going towards, because it has never been this low. So here I would be actually pretty careful on still continue to sell. What I would like to see is for a steeper pullback, maybe into this daily resistance and support zone, or maybe even up here into this area right here, like the last structure, like support structure right here, before looking to continue to sell. So I will most likely stay away from this pair next week unless we get like a super fast steep pullback into this zone right here or into this area right here. If not, then I will wait for the next week, so meaning that next month, and then I will see if I can take some entries on this pair right here. And now we continue with gold, and we closed bearish on the weekly candle. We closed below the previous support area. So what I was waiting for was for a retest of this zone to then look to continue to sell back down. And let's see what actually happened. So we go on to the daily. Okay, so here we had our touch into the zone. This would have been like a sniper entry to sell, so that's why I didn't really enter, because it happened really fast. But it did reach the zone of interest, so here theoretically you could have sold back down. But what we can see overall, like, so gold was consolidating basically the whole week, and it has been in this consolidation box. But after, like on Friday, we had the breakout, the retest, and then you could have looked to sell back down here. But what I'm expecting right now is we are currently trading at a major daily and weekly support zone, support and resistance. So here we have it as resistance, resistance, and then we go back even further in time. And as you can see here, it held as support, support, resistance, support. So we are at a daily support and resistance zone. So what we could expect right now is probably like a retest of this consolidation box here, and then to continue lower. This would be my first thing that I would look for, or a break below this area, like below the support, hold this resistance, and then look to sell from here. But my overall BS is still very bearish also on gold. Or, the third option that could still happen is for a nicer double top clean retest of this zone here, and then look to sell back down. But I would not be looking for buys unless we do manage somehow to close above this support here. If it holds as support, I will look to buy up. So like I said, guys, this is basically it. So we had a weekly recap and the weekly analysis of the pairs that I trade, and we'll see how next week plays out, and I'll see you in a week for the next weekly analysis. Peace.